Oh, that's
All
right.
right, there we go. We are live. It just glitched on my end. I'm sitting here going like, is it going live or not? All right. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of the Reseller Roundtable. Brian is MIA, which I think he's been really quiet today on our chat. So I'm sure he got busy, but we'll see him next week, I'm sure. But, we got Triple D Scott. We got Mike from Flipping Goodies, and we're here just hanging out. And a little easy topic tonight is sourcing. Can sourcing really make you a better reseller? Can you and when I say that help you grow as a reseller is we always make the joke of, listing. But unless you're properly sourcing, how are you going to have those items to list? And I feel like that's an important one, making the money on the buy to me is 90% of the battle. If you know it's going to sell, you got to get at the best price. So, Mike, what do you normally do for your sourcing when it comes to that?
Well, my reselling has changed quite a bit, but for eBay, I have contacts with estate sale companies that I go in first and I can clean out the good stuff and get out of there. And I still pay probably second day prices. I don't pay first day prices. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not at the top, but I'm not at the lowest either. I kind of get right in the middle there, which is fair. And I know exactly when I'm going to get out of stuff. So it's very easy for me to go in and start cherry picking stuff. And then at a certain point, I'll even talk about it in my videos. I feel like I just start grabbing stuff because I know I'm really not adding anything to my price at that point.
Right.
So I'm kind of just, that's my mentality there. And then, I have a couple of people I can call on a weekly basis to go get some inventory. Like today, I just picked up 100 Garmins. Not the most popular item out there anymore, but they still do sell. So for $150, I got 100 of them. I mean, how do you turn that down? Because they'll sell $50, $60 each. And I've tested probably 30 so far, and only like 3 were bad. And, one was like, you could tell right away the screen was all busted. But other than that, I'm not a big thrifter, so you won't hear me talking, thrift stores a lot. It's not something I don't like to kind of chase, I guess you would say. And Walmart.
So you're okay paying the not low, but not high. You're like right in that middle ground. You're okay paying up a little more than versus getting something what we call dirt cheap, just so you can have you get the quantity as well as the quality. So you're getting right in that middle ground. It seems like your cost on average, it might be a little higher than most though.
Trust me, if you watch my estate sale videos, I do very well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm looking at the average, we go to thrifting compared to a yard sale or some people who start off their sourcing. I feel like you're a little step up, but you also know exactly going in what you're going to get out of it. So it kind of makes sense to play in your realm.
I mean, I think overall it's because for me, having I think I'm up to 5 estate sale companies that will call me.
Right.
Say, look, we're having a good one over here. Come. And that's what's great about it too, is the one I really work close with, and you'll see on a lot of my videos, she doesn't even call me when she knows she has nothing for me. It's not even, she doesn't waste my time driving out there if it's a strictly maybe, because some estate sales just have furniture basically,
Right.
And I don't touch that stuff. She knows that, so she's not going to call me. Or she knows I'm not big into figurines and things of that nature. So if it's heavy on that side and it doesn't have golf, electronics, other types of collectibles, she won't bother calling me. So that's
awesome.
Because I don't have to waste my time, because realistically, a relationship like that, if she calls, you got to go.
Right.
You don't want to burn that contact because you're like, I've had enough. I don't need any more. Because what's going to happen is she's going to shut you down and you're not going to have enough anymore.
Right.
And you kind of got to play that little game with them is I'll come, I'll maybe not buy much, but always have that intent to buy at least a little bit just to make them happy, keep that relationship good.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like gold. I know when my phone rings on Tuesday and I see her name on it, I know that I'm going to an estate sale. So
right. So to me, it sounds like the one thing I got out of that, which I mean, granted, your items is great, but the best sourcing period was the connection that you have made for the item, and not necessarily the item you're thrifting or getting, but your sourcing was the connection. So that's actually a really good one, is to make those connections along the way as well. So
It's like my electronics guy, same thing. He had a garage sale, but his garage sale is 3 30 by 60 sheds and another building full of electronics.
wow, I just can't imagine. Like it's just
I have a video on his one shed, just because some people were calling BS on my part. So I was like, all right, I'll show you.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine walking in. Like I feel like my anxiety would go through the roof, and I'd be so overwhelmed. I'm gonna be like, what is this? Like,
Yeah, well, that's my thing, and I love electronics, and I've purchased well over 100 VCR DVDs from him in the last 5 months.
right.
And now we have an agreement to where everything that comes in, I get. Anything VCR DVDs, VCRs, and video game systems, I get them.
That's awesome.
And he knows what I do. He gave me these 100 garments for $150 because he needs to unload. He has so much stuff. He needs to unload it, So
that's an awesome way to do it, though. But when you have those connections, you're helping them do their business model, and then they're helping you complete your business model. So if you get enough of people like that, honestly, sourcing becomes easy, or at least not as stressful. I feel like sourcing could be a very stressful topic for people. Like, if they go, oh, I'm only going sourcing on the weekends, like that might not be enough. Like you gotta, like we're constantly searching for items or doing deals during the week or anything like that. And I know Scott. We'll kind of segue over to Scott because he's always on the grind. Anytime I message him, oh, I'm out so and so, or I'm making a Facebook deal, or so. So what you like? Tell us what you did the last couple of days, Scott.
Last couple of days, I did a hat deal for 78 New Era baseball and football, and a couple NBA hats for like almost $4 a piece. And these are the really nice ones. These are the New Era. They're almost like art to some people, and they're sort of like art to me. And so I did a deal with him. He started out at $10. I couldn't buy it at $10. There was no way I could make a little money on it, but there was no way and then he came down to $5, and then I got him down to 3 something and change.
Now, keep in mind for our listeners who maybe not a part of the YouTube thing, that Scott's talking about New Era hats that have a good basis around $30 in the resale. Like we're not talking like a $10 hat. We're talking at minimum $30.
Right.
And guy comes in at 10, so he's already in the profit.
I am in the profit.
But you got it even better, and I was so jealous. Like I was just like, oh no.
And he really wanted to offload them all. He was a storage unit guy, and he wants to offload some Legos here coming up. But I just like the hunt. I like finding stuff on Facebook. I like finding stuff on when I go to the bins, I like to dig and find stuff in there and find the deals and stuff like that. So it's all about the hunt for me. Garage sale season is coming up, or has been here for us in California and Florida. And I love going out to garage sales and see what I'll find. I've been taking the wife lately, so that's been fun. Seeing what she's picking up and what she's liking, where I would go past the jewelry or the purses or the little stuff like that. So,
I was actually going to ask you that. Like, does she find things that you go, oh, I didn't realize that was popular?
I had no idea because
it turned out it might be worth something. You're gonna be like,
exactly.
So that's a learning experience.
Right.
That's
like cool sourcing. And I was up $100. I'm like, oh yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
But, I sourced the way I like, and the way I like is to go out and hunt for it. So
right.
I don't know if that's the best or most profitable way, but usually I get stuff on the cheap, and I'm trying to get stuff for at least a couple bucks, or if it's more electronics, of course I'll pay for video game lots or anything like. I'll pay up for that. But
right.
There's always deals to be made, and
always. I mean,
always, and if you can't make that deal, then you just walk away and go to the next one. So
like kind of like some of the things we kind of talk about with connections between Mike and you know, when we go to certain places, like we always talk about going to bins and going to the Goodwill outlet for the bins or even certain places like that. And I've actually I used to hate it. Like I was like feeling so intimidated by these people, especially these little older women who would literally shove you at the hip to get to the bin. But the thing is, as long as you're nice to people, eventually the connections will be made. Now when I walk in, they're like, oh, we know what he's looking for. And before I know it, they're over there dumping them in my bin because they found them for me. Or they're coming to me, hey, you got this one? Do you have one? Let me trade one for you. Or I got 3 cool ones. Let me get a cool one from you. It's a unique community and an atmosphere. And I think the connections is a really big source. No matter where you go, whether, you know, like us guys in between here, like if Mike wants to find if he comes across a load of hats that he don't want to deal with, well, then you know what? He knows to call me and you, like, you know, and I feel like those connections matter more than actually sometimes the item that you're getting at that time. So
Well, I told you last weekend I had that deal to pick up all the clothing at the end of the state sale.
right.
And I literally filled the back of my truck.
Oof.
Okay. So I came home. I talked to you guys about it. I told you I had a truck full of clothing.
Yep.
I laid out the women. I did like 4 bags. I laid out the women's and the men's separate piles. So I had a bunch of women. So I said, all right, I want to make them into like 30-piece lots. And I was asking you guys pricing and everything like that. And I figured for me to ship, it's going to be a, you know, $20, $25, 30 pieces of clothing, right?
Right.
So I figured, you know, $100 for the box is a good price. You're paying maybe $225, somewhere in that range for each piece of clothing. So I figured the best way to do it was do a video on the 30 pieces of clothing instead of sitting here taking pictures. I got through 1 second. That set went back in the bag and back into my truck, and so did everything else that was on my table. Donated it all because it's just way too much work.
Yeah.
Way too much work. Now,
I could see where that could be it's also how much time you're willing to invest. So
yeah, that was
and shipping it to California would be a pain. So
it's just the whole process just wasn't worth it for me. And I paid nothing for it, so it really didn't, you know, except my time that day.
Well, I think the only thing I would ask next time is when you go through them, like when you're get you another bag, whatever, and go through the bag and take like the 30 minutes instead of actually sourcing and like pulling stuff out, save like the vintage t-shirts or the single stitches and stuff like that. Because that's how get lost.
How does this shirt, because I don't do clothing, so it's off my radar. Okay.
Brian would call that bread and butter.
Right.
It got the patch on, it's got the numbers on the side.
Yeah, that would be a bread and butter out.
Yep.
Bread and butter all day long.
This was like a unique one. So I kept it. But it just happened to be in one of the 4 bags I went through. Mm-hmm. So I did keep a couple. Like this shirt I thought was pretty good looking. I don't know if it has any value or not, because again, I don't do clothing, and I'll probably fight to even list this stuff. But it's like it's almost like a Cubanera. Is that the name of the clothing maker?
I don't. Yeah, that's all Brian. He's not here tonight.
Well, this is Family Craft, but it has like the embroidery. I don't know if you're gonna be able to make that down the side.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That would be a unique piece to sell for eBay. But like when I talk about it, like we like the vintage T-shirts and I don't know. I'm not much of a collared person anymore. Like I'm the one person with my full-time job that will walk into a executive meeting in cargo shorts and a T-shirt at work, and they know I don't care.
There's another one that has like that embroidery down the sides.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty. I mean that's unique stuff, though. I mean,
but the name I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't even tell you.
I just kept a few that, like I said, I felt might have some value.
And see, honestly, though, what you'll do is that little bit you saved over time, when you search it and go, yeah, that brand is just not working, you'll know from now on never to touch that brand again. Or it might be a home run, you know?
Now, that one I do know.
Yeah, Eddie Bauer's a given. I actually used to sell Eddie Bauer clothes.
Sweater.
They last forever.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's not my I'll probably never list it.
Val might know in the chat. She does clothing
Yeah.
too. So, but
Hey Val, like sorry, I said hey to her, but we
Yeah.
just didn't get segued to the chat
exactly.
yet. So.
But yeah, that's.
Okay.
I don't blame you. I got clothing that I have to go through too, but I've been pulling out the single stitch and all that.
So,
stuff. But,
Scott, you ready for this?
yep.
I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm gonna tell a reselling story.
Story
Right.
with Mike.
And it has a
Story
very.
time.
Story time with Mike.
I'm gonna warn you. It has a very, very sad ending.
Oh God.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
It's super sad. And I got this news while I was on here with Alton just before the show because I told him, I said, I want to read this when we start the show. We didn't go that route, but I'm going to tell you the sad story. Okay. There was this reseller, okay, who sold on Walmart. He decided to let Walmart fulfill his items, right? He was shipping his items to a place in Florida. Everything was going great, selling like crazy, making good money. It was just wonderful. It was reselling euphoria for this person. God bless that guy, right?
God bless him.
Right? God bless him.
He says, as all resellers do, it's time to up my game. Gotta go to the next level. This is good, but I want to be here. But then I want to be here. And then I want to be off the chart, right? So this seller goes out and says, okay, it's time to ramp it up. Okay. He goes out and buys a ton of inventory. Sends in 59 22 by 22 by 22 boxes with a value, street value, his value of around $7,000.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
No, you don't. You don't. So as he goes to ship his first box and gets ready to ship it over to Davenport, Florida, Walmart says, whoa, stop right there. You no longer ship to Davenport. We need you to send these boxes. Alton's already crying. Look.
This is a bad. This is already. This reminds me of something with Amazon stories.
Walmart says, wait. We don't want you to ship over there anymore. We need you to put it here in Indiana.
Oh.
This reseller says, you know what? I have no choice. So starts labeling them, which costs an extra $3 to send to Indiana than it did to Davenport. So he ships out all these boxes, and they go on the FedEx truck and ramble down the road and on their way to Indiana. They get to Indiana. Everything's wonderful, right? Shows quantity coming, quantity received. Quantity coming, quantity received, all the way up the line.
Right.
Seller calls Walmart and says, a week later, and says, why aren't my items listed? Oh, we're backlogged, we'll get to them. Okay. So, not too bad. You know, sometimes you gotta wait. You know, there's gotta be patient. You can't force things to happen, right?
Patience is a virtue.
Right.
Seller.
Even I have none.
Seller gets this notice about how long we been doing the show?
30 minutes probably total. 30 minutes ago, I think it was exactly now.
All right. So you ready? Hello, seller, which is the seller I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name.
The wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, a Walmart fulfillment center in Plainfield, Indiana, had a fire and sustained severe damage.
I knew exactly where this is going. Yeah.
The facility is currently closed, and the duration of the closure is unknown at this time. Our first priority has been the safety of our first responders, associates, and people. We've already taken steps to limit the impact to customers by finding other avenues to sell it, right? Additionally, most customer orders have been rerouted to additional facilities or have been canceled. Sellers will not be penalized for these cancellations. Well, thank you very much. I mean, I'm sure it's my fault, but somehow. If you're a Walmart fulfillment service seller, which is what the story is about, and you have existing shipments en route using your own carrier system, please carrier reroute. I won't read every line of this. I'm trying to get down to, okay. As we continue to assess the impacts of the inventory and orders and have more information to share, we will reach out to the impacted sellers who have inventory or active orders at this facility. We are working on reimbursement and inventory adjustments to cover losses incurred as outlined in the seller agreement, and will communicate when we have further details.
Now,
So where do you think you stand in? Where does this seller stand in the loss of potential inventory?
oh man,
I don't know. I've never been through it before. I don't know
But-
what's going to happen.
I saw the fire yesterday on YouTube or the news, whatever it was. So I did see the fire of the warehouse, and it looked like a lot of damage. So
I'm assuming I lost everything. So
I
now
would assume that too. Yes. Well, the way the fire looked on the TV, it looked like it was.
But now,
loss.
So
it,
now I'll probably have
it
to
showed it was
provide-
received though, like completely received. It just was
Right.
in the warehouse.
Right. It was at the warehouse. So now I'm going to probably have to provide invoices and
Mhm.
billing statements showing I've actually paid for them, and so forth and so on.
Right.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of red tape to go through. I don't know how long the process is actually going to take, because I was getting frustrated at the fact that it took so long for them to inventory it.
Right.
But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, at least I have proof that they had received this item.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Well-
in my seller center, it says received. So I have that going for me at this point.
So are they going to? Okay, so what does? Okay, so I guess help me understand the benefit to the seller side, right? So like, it burns down, they lose everything, and you got $7,000 or whatever that number is in inventory at your cost. Are they only liable at your cost, or are they?
They're not going to pay what I could have sold it.
Because like that's like damage. I mean, as long as they pay you back what you spent, I don't have a problem with it. But you have to also look at their taking away your money, like by their whatever negligence, whatever it might be. So
Well, it's just like so ironic that my other prior shipments all went here to Florida,
Mhm.
and now all of a sudden I got moved to this location that goes on fire 2 weeks later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like the worst case scenario that could have happened, and it's just now like you're in limbo.
but hey, be refreshing. As soon as they give you your money back, just do it again. Don't get discouraged, and they'll send it to Davenport because they can't send it to Indiana.
Well, I have items that I'm ready to pack and ship.
Mhm.
So I'm going to send more inventory. I just don't know what they're going to tell me. Hopefully they tell me Davenport. again.
Right. There you go.
Well, I mean, you would think so, because if that's where it was doing it to begin with, I feel like that's where you'll go back to.
Right.
I do understand the Indiana point, because you're more towards central, and it's easier to kind of push more toward the West Coast if needed, like that 3-day turnaround or whatever some of their days turning is. So, like, I get it, but I don't know. Like, you're going to go right back to Davenport.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to probably do them tomorrow night. I'll figure out where I got to go.
Mhm.
Or over the weekend, I'll get these all packed
Because
up.
that happened to one of my friends who did Amazon
That's happened to me.
FBA.
Yep,
And-
that happened to me in one of the warehouses that Amazon had, and they reimbursed me for what I was going to get paid for it. So
That's what I was asking, because
Yeah.
I know Amazon said, well, what was the going rate for that item?
right.
So that's why I was asking, what is the
Oh,
seller profit?
They paid you what they thought you would sell it for?
Yep. Exactly.
So, like, let's say the item,
Minus fees. But
yeah, whatever. So, like, let's say your item was going to sell, and you were going to get net payout of say $10 for that item. Well, you would get, like, that was a loss to you at that price, because if you just put in a loss of inventory, and let's say you come across them for $1 a piece, it's not right to you that they costed you your inventory at it, and they're not going to just pay you $1. They paid you what the cost of retail is.
right, they made you whole.
Well,
Yeah.
if that's what happens here, I have a good track record because I've been selling the same stuff.
Right.
So
Well, at least that's what I hear with Amazon from what I know people who went through it. That's why I was asking, what's the seller benefit side of it? So,
well, like I said, for me, if that's the case, because they can look at my sales from the last few weeks, because that's the inventory I had at Davenport.
Mhm.
So I was trying to keep my like a rolling inventory. I didn't want
Right.
to load up too much there, but I wanted to load enough that I can make another shipment a few days later and keep it so that when that arrived and got posted, I would kind of be almost out of stock and just roll right back into it.
Right.
There's a lot of items I'm selling by myself. There's nobody else on the listing. So if I can keep that inventory rolling like that, it's like a guaranteed paycheck almost. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's what I'm trying to build my business to be. It's just a rolling inventory where I know for a fact that if I send in, let's say, 10 items, and I know they're going to last 10 days, let's say one sale a day out through them, okay, I want to have the 11th day have my inventory back in stock 10 days and keep that going until I'm done reselling.
Well, that makes sense, but you know, as sad of a story as it is.
Well, and I'm not gonna. I don't mean to brag, but my business can take that hit and still move on. You know what I'm saying? Because I built it to the point where a hit like that, although hurts, don't get me wrong, I can still run my business as normal.
Right. And that's a blessing right there. That's a blessing on, especially from your side of it. You got to look at it and go, you know what? It was a tough one, but I'm okay. I'm gonna keep. They're gonna figure it out, whether it's my money back or, you know, insurance. You gotta love insurance.
And I would be happy to get my money back and just take it as a wash. You know what I'm saying? And say, okay, I got I'm recouped. I'm whole. Let's say, because that's the reality of it. I'd be whole again.
Right.
So if they paid what I was actually selling it for, I'd be even happier. Let's put it that way.
Oh no, like I mean, sometimes they do. Like it just I don't know what their policy is, but I've heard people with Amazon that had total losses. They're like, well, they go through and base it off what the sale would be, you know, and go from there. So like, it's just kind of interesting.
I have to wait and see now because I have no idea what to do. I'm gonna make more shipments and hopefully ship it here and go from there and just start over again. But you know, here's my biggest problem. I have repeat customers on a lot of my items.
Mm-hmm.
They constantly buy. When they run out, they buy from me. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that's going to hurt me because I'm going to be out of stock for a couple of weeks now.
Right.
You know, that's kind of painful.
So I wish there was a way to like, they should have had a way of like, due to unexpected events, certain items might be delayed or out of stock due to hazard or fire, like or something.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how this is all going to, you know, in the end. I'll let you know when I find out.
Sweet. Well, we'll look forward to that update. So, you know, did any of y'all bring any sales for the week? We'll keep it kind of short and sweet. Mine was easy. I mean, I can't really show you my sales, but I mean, I did like.
I can't show you my sales. You can show us.
Well,
what do you mean you can't show us?
Oh, I can show you, but. It's a whole bunch of boxes.
Whole bunch of boxes, yes. And one of them's mine.
A bunch of Funko Pops and a bunch of that was today's actual sales today. So like all kinds of stuff today. We just did an auction earlier before the show and had time to get it, you know, taken care of, get them all boxed up. I sent out like 43 packages from earlier in the week. So I mean, we're moving right along, you know. So we're having a good time with our sales.
Okay, I'm going to show you 3. Well, no, I'm going to show you 4 sales because the one that I just ran across was a repeat. But I got to show you the one sale. I got to find it first. I actually got good feedback on it already too. So
nice.
That's always good.
Always.
All right. So, am I up or is Scott up?
No, you're up.
You're up. You're up. You just got to share your screen.
Okay, hold on. Share screen. Entire screen. Go.
And all right, all yours.
Okay, so I talk about it all the time. Not vintage TVs, but older TVs with VCRs in them.
Mm-hmm.
You remember I showed you one last time I sold?
Right.
Okay, and I know it's going to look very similar because it's the exact same one. That one sold for $145.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. And it's a different one than I showed you last time, trust me. Okay. You just have to take my word for it.
Nice little pixelized horse image on the screen.
Well, see, you can't take a picture
of
that screen.
Oh yeah. I know.
You know what I'm saying? I put it in I should have it. No, I didn't put it in this one. Normally, I put it in the listing saying that it's because of the camera, it looks like that. Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
All right. So next, and this was a shock to me. Okay.
Well, Mike, while we got you here, Val wants to know how much does a TV ship for, though?
That
Like,
one only went to Georgia, so it was like $24.
Okay.
Only.
Not bad.
How heavy was it?
I want to say it was right around 24 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Too,
they're not bad
terrible.
to ship. They're really not bad to ship. Okay. So another one of the things I love to pick up is vintage typewriters.
Right.
Okay. So this sold in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
And I knew I had a good one because I had it listed for $199. I took $175. But I knew it was good because when I comped it, I couldn't find one that had this. You ready? Let me show you what this had compared to everybody else. Look at that font.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Okay. So I do this on all my typewriters. Hi, I'm a working typewriter. Ready to go back to work in the field.
All right, same question. What it cost you to ship it?
Hopefully you like it. And P.S. I have a new ribbon. So again, this is a Remington. I've never sold one before. And I was kind of surprised at how much they actually do go for.
Right.
The box is a little cruddy, as you can see, but this still sold for $175. I mean, how could you pass this stuff up?
That's awesome.
Okay. So then, and I'm going to kick myself on this one because earlier in the show I said don't go to thrift stores. I should say I'm not a big thrifter, right? I found this little beauty this weekend for $6. Now, keep an eye on this. This has a special, let me see if I can find a picture for it. Okay. You see right there? See right underneath where it says Canon? You see that little dot there? If you pull up this printer, there's a special like card holder you can slide in there, and you put in these PVC cards,
right,
and actually print front and back to those cards. It looks like a driver's license, almost like that size card.
But nice.
PVC. So when the guy bought it, he's in Sweden, okay? So it's going GSP. So I washed my hands of this right away. This is a simple one for me. Only going to Kentucky. I think it was like $23 shipping. It wasn't bad at all. And it's just like, good, gone. I paid $6 for this at a thrift store. And it sold for $179.99.
Wow.
Okay. Now, because I had it ready last week and you wouldn't let me show it, I'm going to show it this week.
Oh God! Like the hostility. I love it.
This sale is from 2 weeks ago. Okay. Bam.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at him.
That's cool.
Might be one of my greatest finds in the field. And he doesn't work. And look what he sold for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No power cord for parts or God. God. No, I couldn't imagine. No. Like,
I mean, you can't find them. You just can't.
That's a cool piece.
That's a collectible. Yeah, somebody wants that in there, the collection.
Yeah, that's from the 80s. In the 80s, this thing, I read somewhere, this thing was $699 in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah. So everyone I saw on eBay was for parts or restoration.
I should tell you something that they didn't hold up.
And his left arm is broken. I didn't have a charger for him, so I could never test him. And that's the God's honest truth. I never tested this thing. Because if you watch the video, see how clean like the remote is and everything? I mean, that's like
nice.
Clean considering this thing's from the 80s. And then like it goes in that little case back there. and then up here is where you charge them. But I didn't have the charger for it, so I couldn't even see. It may have worked. I don't know.
Did well, yeah. I mean, I would have looked it up to see what kind of charger it took.
Well, that's the problem. Okay.
You can't find the charger, right?
Okay. So you'll be shocked. That went to Oregon. He only weighed 16 pounds. He's not heavy at all.
Right.
Oh, that actually cost me, I want to say it was around $38 to ship him out. But it goes
because it's crossing 4 zones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going all the way across the country. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't so bad. I didn't think that was bad at all. I was expecting to pay more.
No.
And then how much was it to ship the typewriter?
The typewriter went to Texas, El Paso, Texas. I want to say it was $23.
Man.
I have those sales on my YouTube channel. The robot. I show you how I pack them and everything else.
Yep.
The printer. I don't think I did the print. Well, did I? Okay, if you want to watch a printer, go watch. Well, I haven't uploaded it yet, but you can see the printer in my what's the 4 hottest things selling for me right now, which is golf clubs, printers, VCR DVDs,
right,
and there's something else in that. Oh, the typewriters. So, I mean, it's been crazy, that stuff. I can't keep them.
Nice.
And like I said, when you think about it, I bought a piece of junk, not working, and sold it for $341.
Yes, you did.
I can complain about that.
You can't complain. Like,
cannot complain.
You know, if that thing costed you $100 to ship to protect it, you're still to the good. So like,
exactly.
Yeah, well, I actually sold today a VCR DVD JVC, which is the HDMI version. I sold that for $200. I paid $1 at a garage sale last week.
See, you're just over here. You're just rolling it in, you know, making it look easy. You know.
But see, here's the thing: I go to this garage sale and I'm looking around and I see this thing sitting over there. I look down. And I'm like, wait a second. This is a high-end VCR DVD. I want this thing. And I said to the guy, how much you want for it? He goes, I don't think it works. I'll take $1. I'm like, okay, here's $1. You know, how can I not buy it?
For $1? I mean, I've thrown away $1 by accident before.
I mean,
so I will give it a shot.
I sold that thing for parts at $70, $80, you know?
Right.
And the thing worked fine. So out the door, it's getting ready to pack it after the show.
Nice. All right. What about you, Scott? Did we cover yours? We didn't cover yours yet.
We did not cover mine. Mine is the golf clubs. I talked to Alton about this behind the scenes and stuff, but I sold a pair of ladies golf clubs, and we're having shipping issues, so I'm not really going to include it in the sale of the week because it's going to Mexico, and he put a long address in there. So we're still trying to figure that out, messaging back and forth. I tell him to call eBay. He hasn't called eBay yet, so I don't want to count that sale yet. But $500 set of lady clubs.
Wait, you're shipping it to Mexico?
Yep.
Why?
International shipping. I had international shipping on there, so
for golf clubs.
Yeah. You wanted it all? They paid $74. But it's a whole mess. The whole thing's a mess. So I'm about ready to cancel the whole thing and relist it. I'm sure it'll sell pretty quick. So
yeah, I would strongly suggest switching to GSP. Don't offer anything over £4 national.
Exactly, and that's the problem. But the main problem is the address. So, but anyways, I'm going to talk about my hats for pickup because we also do pickups. So, can you share my screen?
Absolutely.
Share screen. Don't show that again.
Well, you can find a video on that thing working. There's actually a lady that does the repairs for it. But the value wasn't there to fix that thing. So there
we go. You're all set.
All right. These were the hats. Like I said, you wanted $650 for all of them. He said 80. There was like 78 hats there, but he wanted $10 a piece. He put new condition. They weren't really in new condition, but they were really, really, really clean. So that was the post.
They were good to like new. They weren't
they
perfect,
were good.
But
exactly. So yeah, and then I paid $300 out the door for all of these. There's some real bangers in here. So Hall of Fame right here. Kings, Sacramento Kings, New York Yankees, a whole bunch. Oh, that's dinner. That was the wrong one. But yeah, that's only for the YouTube people. But
that was one messed up hat there.
One messed up hat. But it looked delicious.
Exactly. So, and I'm trying to work with this deal, another deal with them for Legos, but we'll see about that. But that's my pickup of the week. So
heck yeah. So it looks like we've all doing our own little thing, you know. I mean, constantly getting. Maybe it's a little tougher me doing 90-something% of my sales in Whatnot, unless I don't pack it up for the show that day. Like we try to get our stuff out the next day, so like within 30 minutes to an hour of the show, I'm usually got it packed up and ready to rock and roll. So
yeah, I was trying to cross comp while you were doing them. To see
oh yeah,
sell them on Walmart for, but
now some of them go well beyond PPG, but that's the thing. It's what that collector wants to buy. That's the beauty of it through Whatnot. That people don't pay attention to. You might lose on 30%, or you might break even, but then there's a few. Like tonight, there was a couple that I had $3 in, and one sold for 15 or 17. You have no rhyme or reason of what somebody comes in and what they want. They get an attachment based off what they like, and they know they can afford it. They want to bid this an atmosphere. It's just a whole new ball game when it comes to the auction platform, to buying things you want, because you're not just buying the item, you're buying the experience, you're buying into that community, you're buying just so much other stuff that these people are getting out of it. So I don't know. It's an interesting.
I actually found it entertaining. You had that little you haven't bought it yet. Was that
okay? So a lot of us, yeah. So so that was something new tonight, but we're changing things up. You know, we have our ways, especially me and Sumo Marcus, we have our design and editing skills that we're able to kind of put forth now within Whatnot. And a lot of people can't do that yet. I have people saying, how do you do that? Well, if you know, you know. I'm not going to give it to you. I learned a long time ago, just like everything, just because we give away this information for free, I learned a long time ago that in the grand scheme of things, nothing in life is for free. You know, right now, if people are watching this or listening to it, it's your time. That's not for free. So I'm not going to tell you how to do something that I had to learn to do that's that detailed or dedicated into software. So I don't know. I'm just not going to do it. And I pissed someone off the other night.
Do it on the phone. That was my thing.
You can't do it on the phone. So I wasn't even on the phone today. I was doing everything through the web and web-based to the browser, and but I just thought it was a hotkey. I literally hit one key to turn it on and another key to turn it off.
I thought the stream went through the phone for Whatnot.
It does. No. It does, but they have an option that we can do a beta. It's all in beta, but we're able to do things through the browser. But it has to originate from your phone. So you have to create the lives and do all that through your phone, but then you can go live using the browser side. And that opens up so many aspects, because when you can use your browser, there's other applications you can send to your browser. So it's just fun. Right. So there's a lot there. I'm not going to give it to, as they say, your competition. That's almost telling someone that's like me telling you, Mike, tell me your source for all your VCRs and stuff. I want to go deal with him.
Sure, he lives on Morgan Street in Denali.
Yeah, but I guess in my way of seeing it is, part of it would be, hey, Mike, what do you pay per piece, whatever it is, and then I go to him and say, I'm gonna pay you a little more. That's almost right, but you have to think about it like that, of what people are really trying to get out of you. They're trying, you don't know. I know, Mike, you wouldn't do anything like that to me. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be like, I'm gonna come in and undercut him or whatever. No, but these people, you just don't know.
I was enjoying your show. It was good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun. We try to make it entertaining, have music playing, and that's something you can't do on YouTube. So as much as we'd love to share it, it makes it difficult to share anything like that on YouTube because of all the music. Because it's a truly, as they say in this generation now, it's a vibe. It's what kind of feeling do you get when you're hanging out in there? Because that feeling, if you're bored, you're not going to stay. or if there's not good music playing, or like we have it to where like they can go to that playlist now as long as they keep being reminded, and they can add their favorite songs to my playlist, collaborative effort on Spotify, and eventually they'll hear their song come across the live. Like, how much more interactive can you get? Like, I mean, there's a lot more things we're working on, but just to give them control and power just as much as they're bidding. So there's a lot more to it. So, but yeah, fellas, this is fun. Sourcing is money is made on the buy. That's for sure. You know, like today, I know Scott, like picking up them hats. Man, I just honestly, out of all of it, I mean, Mike, you kill us both when it comes to like sales and numbers. But I think with the amount of money invested today, I think Scott might have the take home if he can get the retail price that he needs out of those hats. 80 hats at what? That's like $2,400. Is that right? What's that? $30 a piece. What is that?
Yeah, that's 2,400. Yeah, just under. It'll be just under that.
I mean, talking about a $300 to $2,000 possibility right there if he does his hats right. That's good money. Well, I don't care who you are. That's good turnaround. So, well, anything else, fellas? I think we're about done for tonight. I am doing another show on Whatnot at 9:30.
So yes, you are crazy man.
I won't be there for that one. I gotta go pack.
Oh wow. Well, the fun thing is though, Mike, you can open up on a browser. Just to let you know.
The thing is, when I'm packing, I don't listen to anything.
You don't do nothing. Man, I have to turn the music on or something. I can't just pack in dead space. Like I can't do it.
I gotta get it done, and I don't like to has it's just something I gotta get done. I have 13 seconds per package to do, so I gotta get in that 13 seconds.
Oh man.
All righty. Well, until next time, guys. We'll see y'all Thursday. Hopefully, Brian will be back with us to join the table to complete it. I still haven't heard from him in our group. And that's why I was checking a while ago to see if we had messaged him. But we'll be back Thursday at 8:00. So I'll see y'all then. All right. Peace.
Out.